Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And after the unfortunate turn of events that was my look at the Transformers Combiner Wars Hoffer figure, I thought that I'd look at something that maybe I could be a bit successful with, and that's this guy. This is the Transformers Generations Legends class Acid Storm with Venin. We're going to look at this guy and kind of not only what I think of him, why I think he's kind of awesome, but why I was really looking for an excuse to buy 3 of them in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and as always, please, like and comment and subscribe. Check out the Everything Factor Machinery of Man and check me out everywhere. You know that I appreciate it by now. And this guy really did not get a very wide release around here at all. Never saw him in the usual big retail chains. Saw him at one store that has 2 locations here. And I only saw him a couple of times there. I ended up getting him for Christmas a couple of years back for one of the scraplets, and was so impressed with him that I said, if I see him again, I got to be on the hunt. And I managed to find him again and really kind of scrounged to pick up 3 of them. I'll explain that in a little bit. We never did get the Starscream Megatron Wave here. Never saw it, first nor last. But I hear that the feet and the tail fins that are soft rubbery plastic on this guy were hard plastic on that one. We did get the version of this that was used for Thundercracker and Skywarp, so go figure. But I wasn't interested in those, and I'll explain that in a little bit as well. This guy came with, we'll take him off, and we're going to take a little look at Venin, who is actually supposed to be a play on the G1 Decepticon Venom that I really don't remember. It is basically a purple waspinator. His arms are soft rubbery plastic and can go up and down, and his legs are soft rubbery plastic and can move forward and back. He actually has a little bit more articulation than any of these little Target Master partners, but he's just awful because everything is soft rubbery plastic and he falls around, and now I have 3 of them. Anyway, to transform this guy to his bug mode, you basically lift that up over his face, you pull the arms forward, I think, or maybe they're down to the side, sorry. Pull the arms down to the side, that's up over his head, like that, and the legs are down straight, and that's his bug mode, which basically looks like a purple wasp because it's a purple waspinator. And to make his blaster mode, you bring down his head over his chest again, you take the entire backpack and extend it out and pull it up like that, and you bring the handle down. I think this would have worked and probably been one of the best ones, except for the entire section where the wings are and that whole armature that they're on. That's all soft rubbery plastic. This is flimsy and floppy, and it's I'm not impressed with it. That's all. I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on any of these. This is a 1. It's really bad because of all the soft rubbery plastic. This is pretty terrible. It's a throwaway from this set as far as I'm concerned. But we will put him back in his robot mode, and we will take him out of it, thankfully, and none of us need to look at him anymore. Yay! But we will bring back in this guy. What can I say? I absolutely, positively love him. I think he looks really fantastic as a Seeker. I kind of wish that this mold had been upsized for deluxe class, because it's that good as far as I'm concerned. They really knocked it out of the park here. The only thing is, the Seekers aren't Legends size. I wanted the mold, but I kind of needed an excuse to justify to myself to get it, because I know that the scale would drive me nuts when it comes to like Thundercracker and Skywarp and even the Coneheads. And of course Starscream. So, you know, that being the case, how was I going to justify getting this mold? Well, I was going to justify it by saying Acid Storm is a different Seeker. He's one of the 3 Rainmakers. Wait, maybe I could get 2 more and actually make a trio of Rainmakers. That's what I did. His paint depth, since we're looking at this guy, I think that they're a 10. I love him. Actually, we'll have to say 9, because if we go by the original show animation, he's got a lot more green than even this has, believe it or not. He's basically all completely green. I like the breakup here. I do. I like the black bits on his knees and his feet and his arms, and I like the purple here on the wings. So I do think it's a win, and I like the black null rays instead of having green null rays. I think it's a win, but to be animation accurate, and then granted their appearance, the Rainmaker's appearance was extremely limited, but he's basically all green. So I'm going to give it a 9. Posability, playability makes a great plane, really does make a great plane. Big fan. Now, here he is with a modern day Legends. This is, of course, the Titans Return Rumble. I looked at him in full in episode 144. He is pretty fantastic. So we'll take him out of it. A 9. That's what this guy has now. We're going to jump into articulation. Well, the head, I don't know if the head can move. I've never been able to get it to move. I've heard that it can move. But with the shoulder pauldrons, I think you'd be hard pressed to do it. I feel like the black paint might keep it from moving, if it can at all. I kind of don't care, to be honest with you, if it can move. I really don't want to break it for the sake of testing it. But the shoulders go way out. Nice 90-degree elbow bend. You have the, bicep swivel, basically, because of the ball joint that's there. You basically get a bicep swivel. The null rays can move and detach, or you can leave them in. I mean, you can take them out or you can leave them in. It's really your call. No waist swivel, but the legs go way out and can go way back, even with the backpack there. Nice 90-degree knee bend. No thigh rotation. That would have been nice. The toes can tilt. I kind of don't miss the thigh rotation. Like, if I want to put this guy in a more dynamic pose, I can pull off like a battle-esque type of pose for this guy. I think it looks okay. Maybe it is a little bit limited, but still, it's pretty great. Now, there are going to be people who are going to be really bothered by the limits of his articulation. And when you compare it to things like, masterpieces and deluxes and third parties and everything else, yeah, okay, it's limited. It is what it is. But for what it is, it looks the part tremendously well, and it's just plain fun to play with. And I feel like that despite the limitations, I can get this guy to do a lot of things that I want him to do. So I'm still going to give, I'm going to be generous here, and I'm going to give it a mark of about a 7.5. Granted, I would like a thigh swivel. I don't really think it's super necessary here, but I would like it. A waist swivel, head articulation, there are ways to improve this guy, there's no doubt. But it's still pretty acceptable. I don't think you would feel like you're getting poor articulation. I don't think you would even notice half the things that I'm pointing out here, just to be detail specific. The reviewer side of me is saying 7.5. The kid side of me that just likes fiddling with these things is saying he's like a 9. He's fun. We're going to jump right into transformation for this guy, which is also very easy. We're going to just close up the feet and close up the feet. The foot and the heel comes together to give you your rear thrusters, basically. You're going to bring out the rear wings, I guess we'll call it. You're going to take this entire backpack and flip it down, right over, tab together, and kind of, I guess, naturally tab into the back of the wings. Next, you're going to come to the front here, the chest piece, and you're going to bring the chest piece all the way up over the nose piece, way out. When you bring the nose piece out, you kind of automatically bring down the landing gear. All that leaves now are the arms. Take this arm, turn the null ray up if you left it on. Take this arm, turn the null ray up if you left it on. Detach it from the body and detach it from the body. It detaches from basically the shoulders. You bring them right down by the side, you bring them all the way down by the side. Make sure the arms are straight. And when you bring them down by the side, there's a little rectangular tab right here on the wing. See if I can show that closer. Little rectangular tab here on the wing, and there is a slot. There's a slot on the back of the arm there, as you can see. That will go over that tab. So we bring that down. And we put that on, and we put that one on, and boom. There you go. In the end, there he is in his plane mode, and he is a sleek looking plane, I think. I really, really, really enjoyed this guy. Now, this is normally where I would end it. Now I'm going to tell you now, his transformation, because it is so quick and easy and fun and looks great in robot mode and looks great in jet mode, I'm going to give it a 10. I think it is the best Seeker transformation we have ever had. It is so fluid and easy and dynamic. I love it. I absolutely love it. It is not over-engineered. It is not overcomplicated. It is great. In fact, I'm going to put him back in his robot mode now because I do have a couple of other things to discuss before giving my final grade on this guy, which I can tell you now is going to be pretty good, to be honest with you. But I do have a couple of comments that I kind of need to make to quantify it, to sort of explain why he's getting the mark that he gets. We put him back as quick and as easy as that. I didn't explain anything to put him back, I just did it, and you can see how quick and easy it is. First things first, I like this mold for the Rainmakers. For my original Seekers, I have, see if I can bring this back a bit. For my original Seekers, I have the 3 FOC. I mean, I have, you know, my custom Starscream, who I had a look at back in episode 112? Yeah, 112. I had a look at him back in 112, and around that same time, I also looked at my custom Thundercracker, and I also looked at, my custom Skywarp. Just a couple of little apps there. And Thundercracker. I use the FOC Seekers as my main trio. My main, original Season 1 trio Seekers, the ones that we all know and love. The Classics mold I like, but it has certain articulation limitations. Still, I use that Classic Seeker mold for my Conehead Seekers, being of course Dirge, Thrust, and Ramjet. And I think that it's nice that all 3 of them look alike. It's nice that all 3 of these guys look alike. So I wanted to have all 3 of the Rainmakers look alike. So, me being me, I went out and bought another copy of this mold. Actually, 2 more copies of this mold, and I painted them. Now, there's been a million names for these guys, and I'm going to try and clarify it here now in case you don't know, because I was really picky about this. So I have the green guy, Acid Storm. I would have all 3 FOC Seekers for my main. I would have my Coneheads, but I need to take these guys out of it. We're focusing on the Rainmakers now. And I painted my next copy of the mold blue. The blue guy has been called Hydra Storm, Ice Storm. Apparently his official name is Ion Storm. Ion Storm. Okay, whatever. Now some people have said, hey, why didn't you just get the already blue Thundercracker? Because there's a little part of me that would have known that that's Thundercracker. Plus I wanted to have the purple up on the wings instead of the red. So there you go. So far we have Acid Storm, we have Ion Storm. And last but not least, the yellow guy, Nova Storm. A lot of people incorrectly call this guy Sunstorm, but apparently Sunstorm is more of an orange color, as my understanding has led me to believe. He is more of an orange color rather than yellow. And there you go. That's the three Rainmakers. I like that I have a trio for these guys, and that I have them all in the one mold, and it's all versions of this mold. Would I love to one day have a proper deluxe-ish size for these guys? Yeah, it'd be great. But you know what? I'm really happy to have them, and it makes me enjoy Acid Storm that much more. My overall mark for Acid Storm, and indeed for the entire Rainmaker trio that I have here, my custom Rainmaker trio, I'm gonna have to give it a 9. I got to, because I feel like it really fills the bill for me. Maybe not for you, but it does for me. And I know that there was some sort of I believe, BotCon set some years ago called the Rainmakers, but the colors just weren't right, folks. This is what you're looking for. Ion Storm, Acid Storm, Nova Storm. And they look beautiful to me. Anyway, that's it. That's my look at this guy. I hope it went well. Maybe you learned something along the way. You know, as always, that I appreciate you dropping by and giving me some of your time. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit. Right here, inside the videos.